Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Today we will talk about hand, foot and mouth disease. HFMD is caused by systemic infections with human enterovirus. HFMD is moderately contagious. Infection is spread from person to person by direct contact with nose, throat discharges, saliva, fluid from blisters or the stool of infected persons. A person is most contagious during the first week of the illness. HFMD is characterized by vesicular eruptions on the hands, wrist, feet, and within the mouth. Lesions on the hands are almost always present, but the oral lesions are present in 90% of patients and can occasionally be the only manifestation of the disease. The oral vesicles are often on the palate, tongue, buccal mucosa, and may range from a few isolated lesions to a marked stomatitis. In addition, patients may suffer fever, malaise, conjunctival injection, headache, and abdominal pain, and occasionally diarrhea. HFMD may be related to Coxsackie virus and enterovirus. Coxsackie virus A16 is frequently encountered pathogen in cases of HFMD, and its clinical course is usually uneventful with full recovery. Fatal cases of Coxsackie virus A16 infection are rare. HFMD caused by enterovirus 71 can be more severe and may be complicated with meningitis, encephalitis, and neurogenic pulmonary edema.
Hand, foot, and mouth disease most commonly occurs in children under the age of 10. HFMD is found to be seasonal in Asia except in tropical Asia. It happened during summer peaks in temperate Asia and fall peaks in subtropical Asia. The fast spread of the disease might happen due to the presence of heat and humidity in those regions. Apart from that, hygiene, age, gender, and social context are believed to be the risk factors for HFMD. Outbreaks have occurred in China, Japan, Hong Kong, the Republic of Korea, Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, Taiwan, and Vietnam. The very first outbreak of HFMD occurred in 1997 in Sarawak of Malaysia, which had taken the life of 30 children with 600 cases in total. Since then, there have been 71 large outbreaks reported which mainly happened in East and Southeast Asia. What's more is that in China, the total number of cases reported each year from 2008 to 2014 was more than 1 million cases. The most recent HFMD outbreak was in 2018 that happened again in Malaysia, which had affected the children nationwide. From 1st January to 26 July, around 38,000 cases were recorded and rose up to 51,000 cases by 14 July. Approaching July 2018, Selangor came first in the list with 11,349 cases, followed by Kuala Lumpur with 4,428 cases and Sarawak with 4,412 cases. During this outbreak, 2 deaths were reported.
Upon the occurrence of HFMD outbreak in Malaysia, the government has enacted the Prevention and Control of Infectious Disease Act 1988. This act is to consolidate the law relating to the prevention and control of infectious disease. According to Section 2 of the Act, infectious disease is defined as any disease specified in the first schedule of the Act. The first schedule of the Act does not specifically mention HFMD, but HFMD may fall under the paragraph of 24, which is any other life-threatening microbial infection. This Act contains 33 sections with 6 parts, including the prevention of importation of infectious disease, the control of the spread of infectious disease, and offences and penalties. However, for the purpose of our discussion today, I would like to highlight on Section 31 of Part 6 of the Act, which confers the power to make relevant regulations to the Minister of Health in order to ensure the provisions of the Act are carried upon. By virtue of Section 31, the Ministry of Health has introduced HFMD guidelines to help health personnel and health authorities at any level. The guidelines further discuss on the description of the disease, the clinical management of HFMD as well as surveillance. Under paragraph 6.4 of the guideline, it has also recommended for a close reference to Buku Panduan Latihan Taska dan Prasekolah, which is another policy being introduced pertaining to HFMD as infectious disease. As we can see, both HFMD guidelines and Buku Panduan Latihan Taska dan Prasekolah are focusing on children. This is supported by Nadia et al. 2016, which is written in her study that the incidence rate of HFMD was found to be the highest among the children that are less than 2 years old. Back to chapter 2 of Buku Panduan Latihan Taska dan Prasekolah, the chapter contains 3 sections and 10 paragraphs, where paragraph 3 highlights on the preventive measures to be taken by nurseries and kindergarten. Under paragraph 3.6, if a child in a premise is suspected with the disease, the responsible individuals must report it immediately to their parents and to get immediate treatments from the doctors. Under paragraph 3.7, the individuals must also report the case to the nearby District Health Office and further inspection would be done. Under paragraph 3.8, the premise would be closed in order to ease the cleaning and disinfection process and to avoid the exposure of the disease to the other healthy children. Malaysia, through close cooperation of government with the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Women, Family and Community Development, as well as other responsible parties, are taking preemptive measures in curbing the widespread of HFMD. In conclusion, we can say that Malaysia is doing a really great job in protecting our children from HFMD. Thank you.
One of the countries that has been using the vaccine against EV71 virus is China, and it results in positive outcomes where it reduced the severe HFMD cases by 60%. However, there are 2 major limitations with it, which are that only a small portion of cases underwent serotype determination, and the post-vaccine period lasts only for a short duration. Furthermore, as we know, HFMD may result from various other non-polio enteroviruses, so it is less certain what will happen with the overall rate of HFMD since the vaccine only works for a specific virus. In fact, currently there is no specific treatment for HFMD, and many doctors do not issue medicine for this illness since HFMD is a viral disease that has to run its course. Since up until today, vaccines for HFMD are still not recommended to be used in Malaysia, so all we can do is to follow the HFMD guidelines given by the Ministry of Health. In addition, I would also recommend that further research should be done to develop a new properly functioning vaccine that is applicable to all viruses that can cause HFMD. Recombinant technology is one of the tools that carry a promising path in the development of this multivalent HFMD vaccine. However, a great support from the government and other authorities are needed to achieve it. Last but not least, a periodic evaluation of this vaccine should also be done to check for its effectiveness and efficiency in humans.
Moving on, I'll proceed with my part, which is personal view on environmental health planning and management. As we know, so far HFMD has no vaccine where antibiotics are ineffective on viral infections. In addition, vaccines are not ready yet to be implemented since the one that has been created by China doesn't give full protection against the virus. We need to know that actually we can't completely destroy the virus. What we can do instead is just by living with them and adapt well in a way that could prevent us from being infected. In my opinion, it will be the best if vaccines are created in the future, which can be administered to the patients, thus can fully protect them by inducing an immune response in their body. Also, practicing a good lifestyle may help us to build our own shield against the virus. And a good lifestyle may have a long list of practices, but here I will just highlight some of the important ones. Firstly, always be hydrated because hydration is indeed the key. If a child gets HFMD, parents need to make sure their child drinks enough water. Usually, they will have sore mouth and throat where drinking and eating would be painful because of the mouth blisters. This will eventually lead to the loss of appetite and risk of dehydration. The next one is just by making good personal hygiene practices as habit. Why? Because we always want to get rid of those harmful microorganisms that can't be seen by naked eyes. This can just be done by always wearing a clean cloth, always washing your hands before and after meals, after using toilets, and etc. Other than that, we need to always disinfect anything that we have touched and use hand sanitizer often because we want to make sure we are always protected. Last but not least, if you yourself get infected with the virus, just isolate yourself and don't mix around with other people so that the spreading can be stopped. As HFMD is a mild illness that will get better on its own, I think those preventive measures I have mentioned before would be enough.
In conclusion, I would like to highlight a hadith narrated by Muslim, An-Nazafatu min al-Iman, which means cleanliness is a part of Iman. Thus, we must keep ourselves clean anytime and anywhere. Thanks for watching.